Hi there everyone, welcome to my channel Aqua Luna 73. This is going to be another moon reading. Please bear in mind these are general readings and it's timeless reading, so it could resonate with you at any time in your life. Okay, time is fluid and it's a constraint that was created by us as humans. So we're going to tap into the energy on what I pick up, and then we're going to see what the universe has to say about the situation that you're currently facing. Sorry, my eyes are itching, I have allergies. Anyway, so the thing that came up today, or the download that I got today, was somebody, this individual, has some type of inner critic or is struggling with some type of inner critic, and this inner critic could be maybe because of some type of toxic shame this individual is facing. So we're going to see what that is. So it's going to be kind of a heavy reading. Okay, so let's just see where this is going. I just want to drink some water quickly. Anyway, we're going to do 6 cards, and then we're going to see where the universe is guiding us regarding this reading. Sorry guys, my eyes are itching like crazy. I have hay fever, so you have to excuse it, okay? It's not even spring. Usually the hay fever is very high in springtime, but it's autumn over here, it's not spring. And I don't have seasonal allergies. My allergies are all through the goddamn year. Sorry about that. So yeah, let's continue. I'm going to see what the universe has to say. First, going to draw an oracle card. What lessons and messages do you have, my collective? Please and thank you, universe, my ascended masters, my spirit guides, God, Son, Jesus Christ, Holy Spirit, Amon-Ra, Mother, you can, whoever you resonate as with my viewers and my subscribers and my collective. What lessons and messages do you have for these individuals or person that is dealing with some type of inner critic and toxic shame that is going to a toxic shame that this individual is facing? Okay, this is a weird card to get. Clover, luck, gambling, opportunity, chance, hope, and small happiness. Okay, so I don't know exactly what to pick up with this. I have no idea what to make of this card. Let's just see. The thing that I pick up now here is settling. Settling for less. This is what this card is coming through today. Settling for less. Okay. Let's just see here. We're going to start off with your signifier card. What for this inner critic that you have? Okay. We're going to start off with a signifier card, and then we're going to pull the reading around that card. I'm using another specific deck. This is also a Rider-Waite tarot deck, but it's just a little different. So what lessons and messages do you have for my collective for this divine moon reading? Okay, there's a card that just flipped out. Okay, just hold on. I just want to move my shoes so I can pick it up. Okay, so your signifier card is the Three of Wands. Your signifier card for this reading is the Three of Wands. The Three of Wands usually speaks of preparation, okay? Preparing for something and waiting, planning. It could also signify expansion of some kind, okay? I have no idea exactly what this means for you, but there is some type of, sorry about that, Luna is going to start barking. I'm just going to use this one specific card from this deck because I do not like to, I don't like this particular deck because of the descriptions, okay? Because then I'm not going to do intuitive, so I'm just going to use this one card. So, yeah. I think here with this signifier, it could be that you're very hard on yourself. You're hard on yourself here. This is what I pick up regarding something. This inner critic. Maybe there's some type of delay. Okay. You are experiencing some type of delay and you're basically punishing yourself. You're asking yourself, why am I delayed? I've done everything that I could possibly do. I'm doing everything according to the book. I'm doing what I'm supposed to do, but there's some type of delay because this individual is waiting here. And you're basically criticizing yourself. Okay, you're questioning whether you're the issue here or whatever this might be. So we're going to see, I'm going to use the other Rider-Waite Tarot deck, this one, usual one. Okay, so I'm going to choose the second card now. This inner critic, this second card that we're going to do, this inner critic could be seeing that you have this, it's like you're questioning yourself and you're asking yourself, okay, why am I still stuck here? Why am I not making any progress? Okay. And we're going to see what makes you believe that you're stuck. Okay. The Ace of Swords is the next card. I'm going to place it like this. Ace of Swords is the next card. With this Ace of Swords, your thoughts are very raw. Okay, it's almost like you're harsh. Yeah, like I said, the inner critic, and it's basically convincing you and causing some type of chaos and confusion inside of you. Okay, because there's some type of lack of clarity regarding a situation. I'm not sure what of lack of clarity there is. Here you see that hand coming out of the clouds. There's some type of cloud or mist, like a misty day, and you cannot see. Say for instance, you drive in your car, and there's this fog. Okay, it comes across as some type of fog surrounding something. So you're basically very hard on yourself regarding the situation. It causes confusion, inner chaos, because you're not making any progress. You're basically blaming yourself for this. But we're going to see here. Okay, I think the reason why you're blaming yourself is possibly because you're a perfectionist, but you're also in the same breath telling yourself, listen, I've done everything that I could possibly do. I totally understand this type of frustration. Okay. It's almost like you want to push yourself over the limit regarding something, and you're basically scrutinizing everything. Have I done this? And you go back and say, okay, I have done this. Have I done that? Yes, I've done that. And you've basically explored every possibility, everything basically, okay? It's almost like somebody that has OCD, and this person constantly goes back to some type of task or thing. Have I done this? And they check on it for 5 or 6 times and stuff like that. It's maybe something similar, but it doesn't mean you have OCD, okay? It's just, I'm using it as an example. Maybe your obsession over this thing. You're obsessing maybe over this thing. Like somebody watching a pot of water boiling, and it takes too long according to you, okay? And maybe you should take your eyes off something or this pot. I don't know what this is. I've had a reading like this on a previous occasion. Okay. So basically, this inner critic, this lie that this inner critic wants you to believe with this Ace of Swords, is this, it's almost like this lie that this inner critic makes you believe is that you're not doing enough, okay? You're basically feeling like you're not doing enough. This is your third card. It's the Ten of Cups. This inner critic wants to project something on you, and it's this Ten of Cups. I mean, not project, protect, sorry. It must protect you from the Ten of Cups. Okay, so I'm just going to... I think you're in an energy where you're in a fight or flight mode, okay? Your nervous system is possibly stressed. You're stressed out. It could be you're a professional individual. You have a job, okay, that's very responsible. There's a lot of responsibility going with your job, okay? I have no idea what type of work you're doing. Just hold on a second. So basically, what I see here is this inner critic is trying to make you believe that it's protecting you, but it's protecting you from this. So it's basically telling you something, a lie, that there is some type of situation I have no idea what this is, okay? The Ten of Cups usually represents harmony, community, prosperity, happiness and alignment. And this inner critic is trying to misalign you with these values. There's some type of situation, okay? I don't know what this is. I'm going to try and tell it the way I see it, okay? This inner critic is trying to protect you. But seeing that your inner critic is trying to protect you, this is how I'm going to see it. It's like a toxic or overprotective parent. Okay. Your inner critic is like an overprotective parent. Basically, it's trying to protect you from something that you think is harmful. Okay, this inner parent is trying to protect you and say, okay, this thing is harmful to you. You shouldn't do this or you shouldn't go there. But this is actually what it's protecting you from. It's not dangerous. It's basically abundance. Okay, so basically if your inner critic is trying to protect you from a situation, so if something is presented to you and you look at it in some specific way, as if it's not promising or trustworthy or something to that effect. Okay, it could be anything. It could be trying to think of something. Okay, I'm going to okay, there's a card that just flipped out. Just hold on a second, I want to pick it up. I have a download now of what I can use as an example. My daughter, I don't know, back then in the 90s there was a series, The Gilmore Girls, and there was this friend, the mother, she's a single mother, her daughter's name is Rory. Okay, I can't remember what her name was, but she was a single mother, and her dad and her mom are very wealthy people in like a town. It's a town that they live, and there's like they're very prominent wealthy individuals. I don't know if her father's a judge or something, I can't remember, but anyway, she comes from a wealthy family, and her parents basically help her to raise her daughter, but they're very old-fashioned as well. Okay. And she has this friend, this male friend. He owns his own like diner. I think it's his diner, I'm not sure. But he's a very supportive guy. Okay, and he basically, when when she gets married or she plans her wedding, he actually helps her with it, even though he has feelings for her. Okay, I have no idea why I'm picking that up. So he's basically helping her, and he's always there when she needs someone. Okay, so she basically shares everything with him, but he never expresses to her how he feels about her. He's just a very good friend, excellent bestie, like something like that. But and he doesn't pressure for anything. He's just there. He's just supportive. And one day, there's this woman that comes into the diner and sees the wedding is off, and he's so happy. And then she smiles to herself because they're friends with Rory's mom, and he's happy. And she smiles because she knows he has feelings for her, but he doesn't want to admit it to himself. But I have no idea why I'm getting this download. Okay, so basically, this is the example. There's the situation. This is what the situation is. Your inner critic is trying to protect you from something that could be very nurturing to your nervous system. It comes across as something consistent and beautiful and safe. Okay, and basically you're not seeing it that way. So I'm not sure what this is. Okay, your next card is the Knight of Swords. And it's what is this now? It's number 4. It's number 4. This is, what is it? Knight of Swords. See, this Knight of Swords, it's how this thing, or how this inner critic is trying to protect you. it's like a overdrive. You see, he's charging swords on both sides. He's charging in and over, like a overprotected. No, you know, you cannot do that. This is the inner critic, because it sees something as some type of threat. Okay, it's basically trying to protect you. Maybe you're defensive, you're not approachable. I don't know what this is. Okay, I'm not being mean. Okay, I also make myself guilty of certain things, but maybe it is some type of aura that you give off. I don't know what this is. I have no idea what this is. The reason why I said this reading is the inner critic and toxic shame. So this toxic shame that you're experiencing in this situation, this inner critic charging in you, trying to protect you from something good, but you don't see it that way. And this toxic shame is this toxic shame. What is this toxic shame that you're experiencing? There's something obviously that's happened, okay, that has happened for you to be so hard on yourself regarding something. Okay, this is what's coming through. Yeah, it's a Two of Cups. Okay, say for instance, I'm going to make an example. Say for instance, you broke up with someone, or you recently got divorced. Not recently, but you may be divorced for a few years and you haven't been in the dating scene. So basically, I don't know why this is coming out. I saw, like, you get memes, okay, like picture memes, like I share, and then you get this GIF, or what do you call it, GIF? Do you call it GIFs or what? GIF. I don't know how you pronounce it, with the moving images. So there was this one that made me laugh, because it's basically about a person that just broke up, and they were like single for maybe 2 or 3 years, and now they decide to start dating. But the thing that they use to, that's the caption, okay? The caption basically is entering, or going on dating sites, or entering the dating pool uh after breaking up of a relationship or a divorce. And it shows a cat, and this cat is near a pond, but this cat doesn't realize this, like, I don't know, but this cat goes on the pond, and then it's frozen, the pond is frozen basically, and then they on the pond, and they start to go crazy. But what it's basically trying to indicate is some type of overwhelming experience, okay? It's maybe trying to protect you from your own emotions and prevent some type of hurt, okay? Because the toxic shame is basically you having had experiences on a previous occasion. These experiences obviously left a lot of scars, whether it's broken relationships, divorce, etc. Now you're afraid, and this toxic shame is telling you, okay, it's your fault, okay? You're basically telling you it's your fault of what happened. Maybe you dealt with a person who had a lot of internal childhood trauma, and you had to deal with this person's trauma in a relationship. And you basically start to blame yourself for things that went wrong. Or even you had maybe a childhood where your parents were toxic, okay? And You grow up with this and you basically blame yourself for certain things that transpired, but it's not your fault. That's the toxic shame. You have shame. It's toxic towards you, but it's not your fault. Do you understand? It's whatever this individual did or those individuals did. It's not your fault. You are not the one that contributed to a situation, but you make it your shame, basically. Do you understand where I'm going with this? And it's not yours to carry. So this is basically preventing you from entering, or I would say, for if it's a man pursuing a new relationship, if it's a woman, you're basically shutting off people and building walls around you and making it impenetrable for someone to actually approach you, okay? Because this toxic shame is keeping certain experiences away, this inner critic. And it's basically telling you, I'm here to protect you, but it's not. It's protecting you, but it's convincing you sometimes of things that are not true, okay? I hope you understand where I'm going with this. Okay. Yeah, with this Two of Cups. This method of protection is rooted in a past failed relationship. Or maybe it was somebody here with this Two of Cups. It's somebody that you trusted. This individual basically betrayed you. Okay. And this is what you need to learn today. You're basically reacting out of a wound. Maybe it's a childhood trauma wound where somebody, a parent, betrayed you. I don't know how. Okay, this is what's popping up into my head. I saw the other day a woman making a video where she tells her son that he's adopted. And I don't know why people would make videos of stuff like that. Okay, that's something very personal and then to share it online. So basically, listen, I'm not criticizing. I just won't do something like that. And his reaction wasn't that good, because you grow up not thinking that these are your biological parents, and now you come a certain age and you realize there are people that actually rejected you and didn't want you. Okay, so that could also be some type of toxic shame where you start to, what was wrong with me? Why did these people reject me? Why didn't they want me? Okay, it's something like that. Okay, and it's not your fault. Anyway, I'm so sorry about this. Anyway, let's the last card. You need to be kind to yourself, nurture yourself, and stop criticizing yourself, because whatever this is not yours to carry. It's not your fault. It's basically a wound that's keeping you from some type of happiness and joy. And you need to dissect this wound to understand where this pain and trauma and this responses that you have towards certain situations and people, why it's happening like that. Okay, maybe you feel your relationships don't last, like romantic relationships. Maybe you're a guy or a woman and you've dated and you've never actually met somebody, and you're still a spinster or a bachelor. Okay, maybe it's because of this inner critic. There's also toxic shame associated with some type of dynamic. And I'm not saying there's something wrong with being a bachelor or a spinster. This is not what I'm implying. What I'm saying is it could be someone like that, and this person is questioning, why am I still single? It could be a woman too. Why am I still single? I haven't met someone yet. And I don't know what this is. Could be anything, okay? There's nothing wrong with being single. Absolutely nothing. But I think whoever you are, you starting to realize the reason why you are. There's a song. There's a song. I can't remember what the goddamn song's name is. But it's the group's name is Jedi Mind Tricks. But there's a specific rap song that this guy sings, and he says, there's a reason I am not with someone. I've dated once and I've learned my lesson. And like it's like this person decided after that incident they were never going to bother with a relationship again. It's something like that. Okay, I can't remember what the song's name is. This is your last card. And this is the Four of Coins. You need to protect yourself with this Four of Coins. Control the stability inside of you. This is associated with security. Okay, this is associated with security. So there's some type of safety, something safe that you need to, like a safe space. This is what's coming to mind. Sometimes we have anxiety, okay, or you that maybe give voice to this inner critic. So that you have to create some type of safe space inside of your head where you can go to whenever you feel something negative or some type of depressive, overwhelming feeling like anxiety or panic attack. You need to create some type of place, okay, like a sanctuary, but it has to be in your head. And you have to use your imagination, because if you can imagine all this in your head, you are able to create this for yourself. Today this card comes across. You see how he's holding on to that coin. Coins represent value. You need to value yourself. You need to hold on to your sanity, okay, by creating something like an apothecary. What I do is this. If I feel like I'm starting to get anxious or depressed or whatever, what I usually do is I stop immediately with what I'm doing and I can listen to some music. I put on some of my favorite music and I close my eyes and I start to meditate, and I take myself to my own little place that I created in my head. It could be a place like a little home that's cozy, okay, and you live alone there, and everything that you love and need is there, okay. It's almost like this quote about Maya Angelou where she spoke to these graduates at a graduating ceremony, and she said, if you're going for an interview and you feel insecure, what you need to do is, before you go into your interview, you call up all your ancestors and you call up every person that has ever loved you, your granny that has passed away, your grandpa that has passed away, any person that you ever can remember that was supportive and loved you. You call on the energy to go with you into that interview. So she's basically, what she's saying is, it's going to give you an unseen sense of confidence and power, knowing you have some type of support, because they are actually people that value and care for you, okay, although you might not feel that way sometimes, okay. So this is the advice. I'm going to ask for one last card. I'm going to use this card. This is not only for romantic relationships, okay. Love message oracle cards is for everyone. Anyway, let's see. Give me a last message for my collective regarding this readings and situation that they are facing. My ascended masters, my spirit guides, God, God's Son, Jesus Christ, Holy Spirit, Mother Kate. What You want them to know and learn. Divine timing. Be patient while things are unfolding. This connection is worth the wait. Maybe you are, like I said, maybe I'm speaking to a bachelor or spinster. This person is not settling, basically. Okay, they're basically not settling because of past experiences, and it's a good thing because everything has divine timing. Okay, and what is for you? I don't believe in. I always see these people. I don't know how this works, okay? And I'm not discriminating, but I always people talk. I see these tarot readers and titles and people talking about not only tarot readers, but even people that are prophetic. They talk about destiny swapping. I don't believe in that, okay? I don't believe in something like destiny swapping. How the hell does that work? Somebody needs to explain this to me. So, in my opinion, if you're a good human being and you work hard and you are persistent and consistent what you do, you're going to get where you need to be. The thing is this, it's willpower, it's persistence, it's perseverance. Okay, it's not your destiny is going to be stolen by some unseen force. No, you are the master of your destiny. So how can your destiny be stolen from you? It's not something physical. Okay, so yes, people can send some type of psychological attacks and stuff your way, but you at the end of the day, you control your mind, you control your body, you decide what goes into your body, you decide what you absorb and what you release. Okay, so I don't believe in that. So the universe is wanting you to control or take control with this Four of Pentacles and create the stability and security with inside yourself. It's almost like you need to conserve energy. Okay, conserve something. Anyway, this is your reading for today, guys. I hope it was helpful. Please like, share, and subscribe, and please take care. I love you. Bye.